Hey veterans, Travis Studdard, veterans disability attorney with the firm of Perkins Studdard here. Today I want to talk to you about your PTSD claim if you have one, and why the 70% level is so important, and how you may be overlooking additional benefits that you are entitled to. So if you are at the 70% level or shooting for that, you really need to be thinking about a possible 100% rating through TDIU, or individual unemployability. And here's why. If you are rated at the 70% level, many of the factors that go into that rating contemplate your performance within the workplace and your inability to perform satisfactorily at your place of employment. So again, a lot of times I see veterans, they're either at 70 or trying to get 70. They're out of work due to issues related to their PTSD, yet they're not seeking individual unemployability, or VA is just sort of ignoring that issue, even though it's been implicitly raised in the claim through evidence that the veteran has given. So let's walk through the 70% PTSD rating, and I think you will see how this may qualify almost, not, I don't want to say automatically, but if you qualify for 70, you quite possibly should qualify for 100% individual unemployability if you meet the other factors for that rating. So what does it take to get a 70% PTSD rating? Well, it requires occupational and social impairment with deficiencies in most areas, and I've got some notes here, such as work, school, family relations, judgment, thinking, or mood. Okay, and all of those, your mood, your thinking, your judgment, your relations, all of those things, again, impact how well you are able to perform your work and do your job every day at work. So some other things that VA specifies, that it may include near continuous panic or depression that affects your ability to function independently, appropriately, and effectively. Now again, many jobs in the workplace require you to function independently, and they require you to be effective and appropriate in your interactions with others. So again, if you're qualifying for 70% PTSD based on that, don't you think it's probably having an impact in the workplace as well? Okay, another factor that VA can consider is impaired impulse control, which can include unprovoked irritability with periods of violence. And I had a case like this recently where we had lots and lots of documentation from supervisors where the veteran was unable to control his emotions and was having verbal outbursts and with cussing and some actual threats of violence upon others in the workplace that were, just inappropriate but unavoidable for this particular veteran due to his PTSD symptoms. So again, impulse control, we know that's a factor for many of those who are suffering from PTSD. Another factor is neglect of personal appearance and hygiene. Now again, most employers expect you to come to the workplace looking professional, clean, and presentable. Unfortunately, many who suffer from PTSD simply don't have the energy or the attention to some of those things that many of us do every day in terms of our personal hygiene and appearance, their clothes, their hair, whatnot. So again, employers judge you upon that, so do customers and others you interact with in the workplace. So if you are failing in that area, again, it's probably going to impact your ability to function in the workplace. Now, and this is interesting, VA then talks about difficulty in adapting to stressful circumstances. And what job isn't stressful at some point, right? But VA goes on to say in the regulations, including work and work-like settings. So if you simply cannot adjust or adapt or respond to stress that is placed upon you due to your work or your work environment, then again, 70% PTSD is in play. But also, so is individual unemployability, perhaps, because again, these factors all talk about the workplace for the most part. And finally, VA considers the inability to establish and maintain effective relationships. In the workplace, you have to maintain effective relationships with employers, supervisors, coworkers, customers, vendors, whoever it may be, the general public perhaps. And again, many times those who are affected by PTSD are simply unable to do that effectively and on a long-term basis, which again can affect their ability to thrive in the workplace and obtain or keep employment. So again, if you're at 70, consider these things because you may be entitled to individual unemployability. Now, of course, that only applies if you are not working. We do, in fact, see some veterans who are still working despite their 70% level symptoms, and they have a situation where they still can function, although perhaps not optimally. But again, if you're out of work and it's due to your PTSD, once you are looking at that 70%, consider whether you really should be receiving 100% due to your inability to work as a result of PTSD. Don't overlook that. Consider it in your claim. Make sure VA considers it in your claim as well. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. PTSD and individual unemployability claims can be very complex, so you can get a free consultation with us on our website at whenyourvetclaim.com. You can check out other videos on this and other topics, and hope you like this one and check out our others. Thanks, and thanks for your service.